Last time? The expansion of the Islamic empires. The empire had spread across 3 continents. But an old question over leadership still remained. How did this old question contribute to the later emergence of Sunni and Shia Islam? History Episode 36. Medieval Era. The Sunni-Shia Split. Part 1. Hereditary Succession. In his later years, Muawiyah began weighing who would succeed him as ruler. He named his own son Yazid as successor, a break from earlier practice. Earlier caliphs had come to power through different combinations of nomination, consultation, and allegiance. So father-to-son succession marked a major change. In 680 CE, Muawiyah died, and Yazid ascended to the position of caliph. Hussein ibn Ali, Muhammad's grandson, refused to pledge allegiance to Yazid. Part 2. The Road to Karbala. Supporters in Kufa sent letters inviting Hussein to come and lead them. Hussein set out for Kufa, leading his family and a small band of supporters. But a governor sent by Yazid seized control of Kufa, scattering Hussein's supporters there. Reaching Karbala, Hussein's small group found themselves surrounded by a much larger force. With access to water cut off, a tense standoff is said to have lasted for days. Hussein is said to have chosen to stand by his cause rather than surrender. Part 3. The Tragedy of Karbala. In October 680 CE, Hussein's heavily outnumbered group faced their final morning. The small band of companions is said to have fallen one by one before overwhelming numbers. That day, Hussein himself is said to have lost his life. Few survived, and only some of his family are said to have lived through that day. News of this soon spread across the Islamic world, bringing deep shock and grief. Karbala has since been remembered as one of the deepest wounds in Islamic history. But the change this tragedy brought went far beyond grief alone. Part 4. What the martyrdom left behind. Even before Karbala, political and religious currents supporting Ali's family existed, though later Shia doctrine and ritual were still taking shape. Karbala added a powerful symbol of martyrdom and memory to this current, becoming central to later Shia identity. Supporters of Ali and his family were called Shi'at Ali. The party of Ali, and later Shia tradition grew from this current. The tradition of remembering Hussein's death on Ashura also developed over later generations. Sunni Muslims also remember this as a deep tragedy, honoring Hussein as a respected martyr. In this way, a single event began to be remembered deeply in different ways. Part 5. Diverging Currents. Turmoil continued after Karbala, as a group called the Tawabin, or penitents, rose up. Mukhtar al-Thaqafi then launched his own revolt, invoking Hussein's death as his cause. After Yazid's death, Ibn al-Zubayr was recognized as caliph in Mecca, gaining wide authority. The Qayyites, insisting the most pious should lead regardless of lineage, opposed both sides. In 692 CE, Abd al-Malik defeated Ibn al-Zubayr, restoring Umayyad rule over most of it. The conflicts and ideas of this period left their mark on later political and religious traditions. Part 6. Two major traditions. One key difference between the two traditions was how they understood rightful leadership after Muhammad. Shia tradition held that a special authority, as Imam, passed through Ali and certain successors from the Prophet's family. Sunni tradition recognized the legitimacy of the early caliphs and did not limit leadership to one bloodline of the Prophet's family. These doctrines and institutions were gradually worked out over the following centuries. To this day, these two traditions continue to exist side by side within the Islamic world. Part 7. One faith, many traditions. Yet Sunni and Shia Muslims share the same roots in the Quran and Muhammad's teachings. Core practices such as prayer, fasting, almsgiving, and pilgrimage are broadly shared by both traditions. The difference began with a single question over leadership, and slowly grew from there. Today, these two traditions live together as faith communities across many nations. Early disputes over leadership later combined with differences in theology, law, religious authority, and ritual as distinct traditions developed. Disputes over leadership and legitimacy that began after Muhammad's death deepened through Karbala and shaped Islamic history. Next time, we explore the golden age of Islamic civilization under the Abbasid dynasty. In Baghdad, translation and scholarship flourished through the House of Wisdom and a wider network of scholars. That story continues in the next episode.
This grand city has long been